Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is from the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival, but on KCCK, we know him as Scott the Amazing Chrisman from his appearances on Talking Pictures. Scott Chrisman, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to have you here wearing another one of your many hats. Of course, as Talking Pics host here on KCCK. Your day job is working right here at Kirkwood in the marketing department, so it was a very short commute.
Yes, short walk.
For you to come up and do the interview. But for many years, as long as I've known you, well before you ever came to Kirkwood, you are a founding director of the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival, which is returning.
It is returning, yes. We're going on, somewhere in the 20-year ballpark. There's been a couple of gaps here and there, like everything else over the last couple of years. But, yeah, we're at about number 20-ish or so. And, yeah, we're back this April.
And in person, and that's got to feel good. And also at the, you're still at the Collins Road Theaters, but they've done significant upgrades.
Yes, they have. Our audience is going to be very impressed to roll in and have reclining seats. The great popcorn with real butter, still a staple. But certainly it's been spruced up. Everything's just a little bit nicer and should be good for the long haul of the festival.
So coming back after a 2-year layoff, what did that do in terms of what films you're going to present at the festival?
Well, we've got the same slate from 2020.
Okay.
So we're hopeful to get that out. We had a great program to begin with. We just haven't gotten to show it yet. So we're excited to give those people their chance on the screen. That
was just like us at Jazz Under the Stars last year. We wanted to go back to everybody we promised a show to the year before and weren't able to do it. So that makes perfect sense. What are a few of the highlights?
Well, we've got a great variety once again. I noticed looking through the list, we've got a lot of great documentaries and some things that lean pretty heavily on not just Iowa, but national history. One of the ones you might be familiar with is the Collins story, which is connecting the moon to Earth live from the moon. And this was the second in a series of the exploration of the role that Rockwell Collins played in getting folks into space and having that connection locally.
When those premiered, I had some reps from the Arthur Collins Association come on and talk about them. So we have had some sessions about all three of those films, and I think I've watched them all. They are really well done, and what an amazing story.
Yeah, and right down the road, I mean, that's a name we hear all the time being in Cedar Rapids, and you don't think about, 50 years ago, they were at the forefront of everything, of all the national historic things.
Every now and again, I'll run into a Collins retiree. Well, what'd you do? Well, I worked on Apollo, and the pride in their voice is still there 50 years later.
Sure, and it should be. What a pioneering thing, and to have it be so connected to Iowa is incredible. So certainly a big historical marker for us there with the space program.
I know one thing that at your festival is that the films are of varying lengths. So you've got full-length documentaries like the Collins stuff, but then you also have a lot of shorts too.
We do.
Which people, that's not what people think of when they think of movies or films, but needing to use that medium to tell a story fast is extra challenging.
Yep. We've had, I'm not sure what our shortest is this year. It might be 3 minutes or something like that with one of the music videos. But we've had a large variety down to even just a minute years ago. But yeah, there's definitely features, shorts, anything that's your flavor. Just take a look through the list at the website at crifm.org. Take a look at the synopses because there's something for everyone involved. And given the way the festival is structured, you don't have to come and sit for, don't think it's a 5-feature, 10-feature slog of, I'm going to have to sit there forever. Come and go as you please. There are different sessions of time. It's divided into a Friday night and a Saturday with 3 sessions. So just come for the morning, for the afternoon, for the evening. Or if you're a film diehard, come and plant yourself in the seat for the whole run. But I know that's not for everyone. That might not be a 6-hour sit for everyone, but the sessions are just 3 hours. And you can bounce between the auditoriums. If you see something, I'd like to see a short, or that feature sounds interesting, by all means. And the ticket gets you into both.
Hey, sit me down 6 hours, give me popcorn with real butter. I am in.
Sure. And now the recliner. So the long sit will be even better.
Just watching movies, or will there be any other activities?
This time we had a pretty packed schedule, so just watching movies, but there's a lot of great time in between. Many of the filmmakers come and introduce their films, so if you have one of a particular interest, you can say, hey, that's the guy who made it, or that's the actor who was in it. I'd like to talk to them. So, take them out to the lobby and chat with them a little bit. Get some of your questions answered. How'd you do this? Where'd you do this? Tell me more about this idea. People who are interested in films as a potential career or even a hobby, come and check it out because there's people to talk to that you might get to work on a project with. That's something that's happened a lot over the years that people meet up and go, oh, we met here, and then years later we made this movie together. So it's been great.
Well, and you've had some people come out of the Cedar Rapids Film Fest and go on to amazing careers as filmmakers.
And there's a lot. I mean, there's a couple of bigger names, but there's a lot of people who are behind the scenes or a couple steps away. I think of it as the 6 degrees of separation, that there's often somebody there's people that worked on Batman, people that have gone on to their own, releasing their own films, and people who are on crews of all sorts of things. So it's a great variety of people.
Talking with Scott Chrisman from the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival, which is coming up over the weekend of April 1st, yes?
1st and 2nd, yes. Collins Road Theaters.
And talked a little bit about some of the being able to meet filmmakers and things like that. The other thing is, to some extent, we're all filmmakers these days.
Anymore now, yeah.
So, if nothing, maybe you could pick up a tip on how to make your iPhone videos look better.
Certainly. We've got some people that have submitted that way before, and it's the whole gamut from first-time student filmmakers who have maybe nothing but their phone in their hands up to the full-budget feature production. So anywhere you have interest, somebody's is doing the type of work you're interested in.
I know that as the director, you're supposed to say all of these films are excellent and worth your time. But is there anything is there any film or films that you are really looking forward to watching an audience get to see and react to for the very first time? Is there a high point in your mind?
Well, again, as the director, of course, I enjoy them all, and I like. It's hard for me to choose a favorite movie from anything because there's such different flavors. Some of the ones we've got that have a strong historical tie, I'm interested in that. The one we have called Sons and Daughters of Thunder, which depicts some of the first public national debates about the abolition of slavery. And it was what inspired Harriet Beecher Stowe to then go write Uncle Tom's Cabin. So having that sort of interaction is very interesting. Also, one of the other ones, Stout-Hearted, George Stout and the Guardians of Art. If you're familiar with the feature film, The Monuments Men with George Clooney.
Oh, that's right, because he was from the University of Iowa.
Yes, this is the guy that character is loosely based on, of saving art and preserving things from the Nazi occupation of Europe. Go find out the true story about the guy who George Clooney's character kind of is, but is based on all these great things of preserving this history and this art. On the sort of lighter side of things, there's also a series that's going to be premiering at the festival, which is Ollie and Dean, Friendly Faces. Ollie and Dean start a Rent-A-Friend service, and they go meet their first client. So this is intended to be a series where people who need some extra help or looking for some friendship have sort of a service to sign up for, renting a friend. So interesting idea there as well. Also some features from some interesting ideas. One called Flavor, which is an actor behind a popular energy drink mascot, is criticized for the messages his performances send to the public. In a knee-jerk attempt to put a message behind the character, he finds that it may be tied into a horrifying conspiracy. So, as always with the independent films, you've got a lot of interesting ideas that are put to the screen that have things that sound interesting in a synopsis. You go, I'd like to learn more about that. So you can certainly check those out on the website and see what tickles your fancy.
It's the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival coming up April 1st and 2nd. Your opportunity to dabble in all kinds of different titles and genres, learning things all the way from history to adventure, and maybe even see something by someone who will someday do the next big Marvel blockbuster.
Sure, anything's possible.
Scott Chrisman from the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival. Again, if people want tickets, does it behoove people to get tickets ahead of time, or does it matter?
There is a slight discount if you get them before April 1st. Each session is $9 ahead of time and $11 at the door. Tickets are available online at crifm.org. We'll be at collinsworththeaters.com as well. Or you can buy them the day of the event at the box office, but you'll pay a little bit more. Full event pass is discounted $25 ahead of time and $35 at the door.
You can visit the website to buy tickets and also, I'm sure, maybe read some synopses and get to know the films a little bit too.
Yep, take a look, see what films interest you, and check out the schedule. We're running everything twice, but I don't think it's possible to see everything anymore since we've got larger. There's too big a list, but kind of map out your schedule on the list and see what you'd like to hit that weekend.
And again, the website is
crifm.org.
All right, Scott Chrisman from the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival. Well, we'll see you at Talking Picks next time around, and good luck with the film fest. And I hope that a lot of people troop in and see some really interesting film.
It's going to be a great time. Hope to see you there.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.